another significant issue when it comes to the health of the city, finding out about the women of Baycrest and their new campaign. Take it away, Drew.
Thanks, Marash. Earlier on the show, I mentioned the statistic. I believe it bears repeating. 70%, or over 2/3, of all of the patients suffering from Alzheimer's in Canada, that's 500,000 people, 70% are women. Now, this is something that I didn't know. I'm surprised that this isn't common knowledge. Well, when it comes to making sure those statistics are reduced, particularly around women's brain health, there's a great initiative called the Women of Baycrest campaign, and I am joined by the motivating force, the founder of the Women of Baycrest campaign, Lynn Poslins. Lynn, good to see you. Thank you so much for coming on to the show to tell us about this. So do tell me about the Women of Baycrest campaign.
Women of Baycrest is a new fundraising initiative to support research and innovation in women's brain health. Our objective is to raise $3 million to support a new research chair at Baycrest in women's brain health and aging, and to fund scientists who are sensitive to women's brain health concerns.
Okay. I wasn't aware that there are specific issues that, about brain health that are unique to women as opposed to men, but given that statistic, clearly that's the case.
Well, the same way 20 years ago they recognized that a woman's heart attack was different than a man's heart attack and the course of treatment should be different, we believe the same is true about women's brain health. And the reason that we say this is because of the statistic that you mentioned earlier, which is 70% of the Alzheimer's patients are women, and people do not know exactly why. Or the fact that you're more likely to suffer from dementia like Alzheimer's if your mother had it than if your father had it, and again, people do not know why. So what Women at Baycrest wants to do is fund research to answer these questions and to find out what women can do to protect their own brain health, to stay active and engaged in life as long as possible. Women are still the primary caregivers. We look after our aging parents, our spouses, our kids, and if we can keep ourselves healthy and out of an old folks' home longer, then I think it benefits everybody.
Okay, now the goal is to raise as much money, initially $3 million, but of course the more the better.
Right.
How far along are you in that goal?
We've just completed our first year, and I'm very excited to say that we've raised over $1 million. This is obviously an issue that resonates for many, many women.
Fantastic. And why does it resonate for you? You're in a position to throw your support behind, any number of wonderful charities that the city has to offer. Why this one?
A few reasons. When I'm in a parking lot and I can't find my car, I'm a little bit worried at this stage. Is it stress, or is there something more going on here?
Right.
And then you couple that with those statistics. This is an issue that I believe is important to many, many women, not just myself. And if I can, lend my support and my time to this initiative, I think it's going to benefit a lot of people. I have 3 boys myself, and I can't see them, looking after me in the old folks' home. So if I can keep myself out of there until the last 3 weeks of my life rather than the last 3 years of my life, that's my objective.
Great. Okay. Now, for folks who are watching who want to get involved, and who are, have received a similar wake-up call around that statistic, how can they plug themselves in and support the organization?
There's 3 ways that we raise money. One is through an annual campaign, which is a commitment to giving year after year to Baycrest and Women of Baycrest specifically. The second way is a donation of any level to the Women of Baycrest Research Fund. And the third way that we like to raise awareness for the campaign as well as to raise funds is through upcoming events, unique experiences. And we have one coming up May 26th.
Okay.
It's a private pre-screening of Sex and the City 2 and an exclusive after party at the Roosevelt Room afterwards. And apart from having bragging rights to seeing the movie before everybody else, you get a welcome cocktail and you have your hors d'oeuvres, and there's a fabulous swag bag filled with all kinds of goodies, and it should be a great, great evening.
So in addition to raising funds for an important cause, it can be a party,
Absolutely.
Just a great party as well.
Absolutely.
It sounds like, of course, we're addressing women's health, women's brain health.
Right.
Can men get involved even in the fundraising initiatives and the events, or is it a women-only event?
Well, first of all, we'll take money from anybody, male or female.
Of course.
These events are open to men as well. I will tell you it's predominantly women, but men are engaged in this fundraising initiative as well, because a lot of men are affected by dementia, like Alzheimer's, as are their family members.
Okay.
You know, mothers, sisters, brothers. So it is a campaign for everybody.
Absolutely. Now, in terms of, I mean, you were mentioning of not being able to find your car in the parking lot as your own wake-up call. For folks who are watching and for themselves or perhaps someone in their life, what are some signs that they should be aware of in the case of early onset of Alzheimer's?
Well, obviously, if it's if you're losing your memory, or if you have different behavior than what is typical, then it's something that perhaps you should be investigating further to see if there is something more serious going on. And Baycrest has a number of clinics, like the Sam and Ida Ross Memory Clinic, and it's for outpatients who can come in and be tested. But there's additional clinics as well. There's stroke recovery, there's stroke and stroke recovery, there's also mood disorders like depression. And what's great about these clinics all being located on the Baycrest facility is that a lot of these mood and memory issues can be interrelated. So for instance, if you are starting to lose your memory, you in fact can get depressed. So the fact that all these clinics are in one location is really beneficial for you as a patient.
So it's a holistic approach to you know, addressing each of the ways it's manifest. Do you need a referral from your GP in order to?
Yes, you do.
Okay, so go and see your family doctor.
Right.
It's really about taking ownership and taking responsibility over your own health.
Absolutely.
Well, I wish you continued success with the fundraising campaign. You also have a Young Women of Baycrest. Can you tell me just a bit about that?
That's for women who are under 35, and again, it's part of the annual campaign or annual commitment to giving. But for young women who want to understand more about what they can do today to protect their brain health, for instance, if you eat healthy, like what keeps your heart healthy, from an eating perspective, also keeps your brain healthy. So the things you can do when you're in your 30s that can help prevent the onset of dementia later on, or where you'll be able to deal more effectively with your own brain health as you age.
And that information, thank you for sharing that, is on the womenofbaycrest.com website. Here's some more information on this great campaign. Don't go away, we'll be right back. Thank you.